Welcome to the channel. At the time of recording this particular video, it is Halloween. I wanted to just give kind of a monthly update on what's been going on with my COMC sales since it's the end of the month, and I can see some of the statistics. This is over the entire time I've had this account since 2022, I believe. This is not all profit, of course. You know, a lot of this, you can see that I have purchased this many cards on the platform over the last 3 years. I've sold this many, I've added this many to the site. So, you know, when you look at this number, there's a lot in there, like, you know, that went back into buying other cards to flip, or that went to, you know, buying cards that I'm sending to myself. So that's pretty crazy. It's really crazy when I think about that. Almost $58,000. You can see that I currently have about 1,600 cards for sale. I tend to try to keep this number around this much. Some people like to put a lot more cards in their inventory, but you know, I don't put cards. I try not to send cards in that I'm going to sell for less than $2 anymore. And some of these cards are cards that I have bought for like 10 cents and I'm going to try to flip for 50 cents. So there are cards like that in here, but I like to keep this number down because any card that you sell for more than 75 cents, that you have up for sale for more than 75 cents, you have to pay 1 cent per month, which isn't a lot. But when you add up to this many cards, if all of those were over 75 cents, this would be $16 a month that I'd be paying, plus the extra security fee of 81 cents a month for the ones that are like, you know, higher value ones. So it's not a lot of money, but you know, $16, $17 a month, I'd rather not go higher than that. So that's kind of, you know, I try to keep it right around that number-ish. I'm not so, you know, tight on that, but if I don't want this number to get too small because it means I'm not going to be selling much, and I don't want it to get too big because I don't want to be paying a large monthly fee. I just want to have a general flow of coming and going. So, and it seems to be working that way for me as I've been doing this many sales. I just sent off myself a bunch of cards ready to be shipped. I do that maybe twice a year. Let's go and see how I have done this month compared to other months. To do this, I can go to seller stats. There's different ways I can look at it. For this sake, let's go to sales by month so we can see this month here particularly has been about $2,000 in sales. 156 cards have sold this month. There's still another 12 hours left in the month, so that number could go up a little bit. But you can see that's a little bit better than it has been for the last few months. Back in earlier part of the year, it was, you know, maybe hovering around that type of number. You can also see some larger months here like December, January, February. So that was a big chunk right there. You know, a lot of the other, you can see that generally in the past, it's lower than it is currently. I think part of that is, you know, I do occasionally use the eBay Live auction feature. That's what this is. When eBay Live started on COMC, I was submitting a lot to that. I have slowed down a ton, as you can see. I mean, you know, I was selling 500, 950 cards a month. A lot of that was through eBay Live auctions because they were just doing so well, but it slowed down. The system, you know, the prices started going for more close to comp prices, eventually started to go for less and less, and I started to submit less and less cards to it. So you can see the number of cards I sold is a direct representation of less cards going through the eBay Live auctions. I still do it sometimes, and I've talked about that in other videos before, but you can see, you know, like the amount that I'm selling per month has gotten to the point where basically every month this year, I've been sending myself, I've actually been cashing out about $1,000 of COMC credit, which is $900 of actual cash because of the 10% cash out fee. I've actually been cashing it out and sending it to myself every month for the last, I don't know exactly, maybe since around January of this year or so. I can't recall when I started. I know some people like to just use their money to buy other cards and then sell them elsewhere. But when I did the math on it, actually, when you consider the cash out fee, all things in, it ends up being, if you do the cash out fee, it ends up being a pretty similar overall fee you've paid as if you were to just sell it on eBay. So I didn't want to, for a while, what I would do is buy cards that I thought were better deals on here that I could get for more over on eBay, and I would sell them on eBay. But eBay takes a 13.25% sales fee anyway, and so it just wasn't worth it. So I just have been starting to turn things into cash occasionally, which has been a good move. I think it's also motivating me to think more strategically about how to actually turn my inventory into cash rather than just into more inventory, which leads to more inventory, which leads to more inventory, which leads to more inventory. At some point along that cycle, I actually wanted to start making cash on that. So this year I've been shifting to that. So, you know, having an extra $900 in my bank each month from this has been pretty cool. I mean, I've probably still gotten to the point of like evening out overall when it's all considered, you know, the amount of money I put into things. But, you know, being at an even point and still having a lot of inventory, I think there's, you know, I got in COMC, I got about $10,000 up for sale right now. Plus, of course, you know, I use eBay and other things as well. But Let's zoom in a little bit here and look at October. All right, so what can we see from here? Just, a few cards. If it doesn't have anything in the purchase price, that means I have sent it in from off platform. I don't have the numbers currently. Anything that ends with a 0.04 or a 0.99 probably means it's sold through the eBay live auction. That's just, it sells on those, those particular numbers. And it also, you can see that there's no difference between the sale price and the COMC credit price. They actually do take some out. They just don't put it in this particular table. I mean, there's a minimum of 50 cents that's taken out, but they don't put it in this table. So that's kind of annoying. So I always have to think, okay, I didn't actually make from $1.10 to $7. And I bought this for $1.10. I paid $2 to get it submitted to the place here. They've probably taken $1 out as the fee. So it's probably more like $3.10. And then, I've made like $6 or $6.25 or something. So I've made $3 from that card, something like that. I don't do this as often. You'll see some though, because I still am doing it some. And there's some cards like this particular card, I just keep doing it. Like one every week, I'll just do it again. Okay, there's another $3. There's another $3. Because for whatever reason, clearly for very specific reasons, this card looks cool. It's Caitlin Clark. She's in the news, so she just seems to do a little bit better in the live auction. So I'll do that. Other ones, I just went through a process of repricing my cards because some of them were just priced too high. So I just wanted to be the lowest on the platform for a bunch of them. So I was getting rid of some of these lower end cards. I've been sitting there for a while. So here's another one. This one I've sold through the COMC auctions a whole bunch of times. Usually it's always done much better than that, but you never know with the live auctions what's going to happen. And so some more. So these are some of the sales. Some of the sales this month. This is just within the last few days, really. Scrolling through. So if it has a number here and then a smaller number here, that just means I've sold it like buy it now through the platform or through eBay. If somebody, bought it through a parallel listing over on eBay. If it has the 04 on the end, it means I sold it through COMC live auctions. So you can see like cards like this. These are flips. I bought this a month ago for what I thought was just a really good price, put it for a higher price, and a month later sold some money. So you can still do flips. I don't do flips nearly as much as I used to. I still do sometimes, like if I'm just like in the evening, it's time for bed, I'm watching TV, I'm relaxing, I'll just maybe also be looking through recently added cards for sale and then flip the ones that I happen to see. It's just kind of like a background hobby that I do while I'm doing other things at times. I'm not dedicating much time to it anymore. I'm also, you can see that I say this a lot. I give advice and I don't follow my advice. One of the things I've said is, I really don't think the eBay live auctions are doing me any favors. I think at this point I'm starting to lose money from that. And you can see some examples here. This is a Dyson Daniels autograph rookie and it sold for $4. I spent $2. I spent $2 to put it up for sale. Like they take probably 50 cents at least from that $4. So really I basically made like $1.50 in profit on a rookie auto of Dyson Daniels. So that wasn't worth it at all. This one, I spent $2 to get it sent onto the platform and I got $2. So I lost money on that one overall. The Astro rookie of Jonathan Kuminga. So sometimes I'll experiment with trying to do something that I think might like pierce through like the people might have a little bit of a FOMO on it. And I'm just wrong about that sometimes. So I have to be more careful. Sometimes I made the mistake of just, okay, this card, I just kind of don't want it anymore. Numbered out of 35. Somebody will probably bid it up a little bit on eBay live auction. Maybe I can break even, but then it ends up selling for 99 cents, means there was one single bidder. It cost me $2 to get it onto the platform in the first place. So I definitely lost money on that. And the minimum transaction fee is 50 cents. So I actually got 49 cents for that. And I paid them $2 to put it up for sale. So I just straight up lost money. It would have been better for me to have just donated this to charity or whatever. So yeah, that's why I say, I wouldn't do the COMC live auction too much. I'm not always following my own advice, and I am at the loss because of it. But some cards do. Here's that same card again. $1 to $9. So sometimes it works. And this card I've done well on putting this one up for eBay live auction before, and then this one didn't. So I just never know. And then this one suddenly really did do great, $16. So it's a crazy game. Here's another one that did really well, $14. So you never know what's going to happen. Let's see what else we got. This one I did also put up for sale. I wasn't sure what would happen. This is actually a game-worn road jersey of Kobe Bryant. I thought it would do well in the live auctions, and it was okay, I guess. So we got 4 pages of these. We're only back to the 22nd of October at this point. Let's just start going through a little bit faster here, just so you can see. I'll just see if there's anything that jumps out really cool. This one I thought would do better as a PSA 9. I made a little bit of profit, but not too much. This one I mentioned before. This was a nice flip. I bought this raw. I sold it. I got it graded paid $22. So that $41 includes the $22 grading fee. So it was like $19 I bought it, $22 to get it graded. So I had $41 into it, put it up for auction, sold it for $79. So I think they take $3.5 I think from that. So a nice little flip. This one this one I put up for, I paid more. I did this for the $5 elite status. I don't even remember what it's called. It's COMC live auction marquee. That's what it's called. Marquee auction, where you have to pay more. It's going to be done on Friday evening. It's only cards that are going to be worth $50 or more. And that one did quite well. That one went for $89 on that particular eBay live auction, which was nice. This is a cool card. This one sold for $43. Holmgren rookie. Here's another one. Must have been bought by the same person, I'm assuming. Oh, yeah, same person. Some more stuff in here. What else we got that's interesting? Just kind of scroll through, see what we got. That one didn't do well at all. This was also a live auction thing, just $14. So surprising. Shohei Ohtani. This was funny. Look at that. I bought it for $5.99. This was just in the midst of that hype stuff. And this one I put up for sale as, an eBay live auction. And I put it up, because you put it up like a month before, so I didn't know he was going to have this sudden hype. But look at that crazy jump. So that kind of thing was happening a lot during when eBay live auctions started, which is why, for those few months in late 2023 and early 2024, I was making a lot of money because there was weird stuff going on like that. That one happened here, but, that doesn't happen very often. That you can't rely on that. That's just weird. Here's some other, little flips here, all these COMC live auctions not doing too well. Okay, I guess. It's this Michael Jordan one, a little flip there. I had bought a bunch of these Griffey cards that I was going to send to myself, but I ended up buying too many of them, so I just reflipped some of them back onto the platform if I could put them up for sale for under 75 cents and still make a profit. Just under 75 cents because I don't want to pay the 1 cent per month storage fee. Here's one, I had made a nice little profit on the PSA 7, but on the PSA 4, it didn't do very well. This one did bad, but I had this one in my account for so long, and I decided to auction it off, and it didn't do very well. This one is a case hit, didn't do very well. Elijah Green, this one lost some money, so another regular auction. The regular auctions on COMC, I tell myself not to do them, but then I do them, and then I lose money on them, and it seems to be a pattern, so gotta listen to my own advice sometimes. Here's, I had shown this in another video. I got this one graded, so that $53.50 includes the grading fee, and then I put it up for auction, lost a little bit of money on that one, but then there was another one that was the PSA 2, this T206, that I ended up getting a PSA 2 on. I had a total of 94 in it, including the $22 grading fee, made a little bit of profit on that one. This was one I also got graded, so it was $9 plus $22 grading, and then sold it for $26, so lost a little bit on that one. So you can see some losses in here. This is one I had also gotten graded. It's Mickey Mantle, but there's no Mickey Mantle there, just back here. So I wanted to see, but it just came PSA authentic, and then sold it in an auction for not so well. What else? Anything interesting in here? Here's that Pele. This came back. Oh no, I didn't send this to get graded. This was already graded 8.5. Made a little profit on that. This one I made a nice little flip from off platform. Bought this one for cheap. Got $42 for it. Some LeBron James patch card. Did pretty well. So you can see what else we got. That's a Franz Wagner auto. Brandon Miller case hit. Did pretty well. So this one, a lot of these Aaron Judge rookies were doing pretty well on the eBay live auction for a little while there. Not anymore. I think it's kind of lost its moment, but it had a little moment on the live auctions. It was doing better. There's $36. I had gotten this one graded through the platform here. This one lost money. That card is, I think, undervalued. It's a cool Cool LeBron James rookie. You couldn't pull it from packs, though. It was like part of a redemption sort of thing. This one went for way more than I expected it to. $39, $38.75. What else we got? This one didn't go for well at all. So this was another regular auction. So regular auctions never do me well on COMC. I always say that, and then I send more on them. Unless it's the only time I say that, but I'm going to have a big batch of these coming through that are on regular auctions because they're having, at this very moment right now, they are taking submissions for a no minimum bid auction event that's not advertised. They didn't advertise it anywhere, but I just noticed it when I went in to go submit a card to an auction. So I've been offloading some of my cards that I thought might at least be able to get something on a no minimum bid auction event. If you're not familiar with those, usually you have to pay at least $3.50 minimum transaction fee for any cards that you send through regular eBay 7-day auctions. But at this event, you don't have to do that. You just pay 3.5% of your final sales price, and then you have to pay 99 cents to submit it up. But some of my cards are worth doing that. So I've sent off actually a lot of them because I wanted to get rid of some of the cards that were sitting there for so long. I basically went into my inventory and organized them by the cards that had been on there the longest, and then anything that I thought would sell for more than $3, I went ahead and, if it had been on the platform for a couple of years and I thought it could auction off for more than $3, I went ahead and sent it through the no minimum bid auction event, just because I wanted to get rid of them and turn it into some cash. So I'll probably lose some money overall on some of those, but it's better than them sitting in there for more years since they've already been sitting in there for so many years. So that's an update on what's been going with my seller stats. Just to really quickly, you can see by year, this is my best year to date. I've sold more cards. That's to be expected. I guess I started in 2021, but kind of late 2021. I guess it's to be expected. It's been going up because it kind of does, snowball on itself. But month by month, it's become a little bit more steady, you could say. I feel like, I don't know if I can keep up this number of 2,000-ish every month. I think it's probably going to fade down to closer to 1,000 or so a month. But if I can, and if I can get to the point where I'm turning a good percentage of that into actually cash, that's kind of my goal at this point. Donations, I didn't even know you could look at this. So I have 181 pending donations. Those are cards that are, that I didn't want to keep anymore, that were going to sell for 5 cents or something. And I just went ahead and did that. I've purchased a total. Wow, look at how much I have purchased. This is interesting, actually. I haven't looked at this one before. I've spent this much money in COMC credit in buying 2,300 cards this year. Wow, I haven't really looked at that. This is interesting. Sales by batch. Some of this stuff I don't actually look at very closely. This is a little messy. I mean, I can see that some of the cards that I sold, I uploaded and had 172 cards coming into the system at one time. I have sold $722 worth on 83 of the 172 so far. So that's kind of interesting, considering that was just last month when that happened, and already 83 of 172 have sold. So that's actually seems pretty good to me. That's kind of interesting. I could probably do a little bit more analyzing of this. This one only has 32 sold of 114, or 21 sold of 168. So there's something I could learn in here. I really do think there's something I should be learning in this. It's really interesting. I mean, I can see the most recent one, 83 out of 172 in just this month, is a really good percentage of a sell-through rate. And back here, my percentages are all significantly lower than that. So, 318 out of 945 is pretty good. But these have been on there for a long time. So that means of these 740 cards I put up there, only 190 have sold from 2022. That's a whole lot of cards that I haven't sold from that time. So I think that also might speak just a little bit, just looking at the trend of that. It probably speaks to the learning, and what I'm choosing to put up for sale on here. Anyway, I probably could analyze this a little bit more and have a better sense of what that might mean. That's really fascinating. So anyway, that's where I'm at. This number is kind of encouraging. This number keeps going up. So I'm almost $58,000 at this point. So that's kind of cool. So that's how things are going on COMC. Maybe I'll make another similar video for how I'm doing with my sales on eBay during this month next. So look for that video. I'll try to get that up here soon too. But for now, peace. See you in the next one.